At this hour, I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories.
Ukrainian officials are saying Kyiv has agreed to terms with President Donald Trump on a minerals deal that they hope will pave the way for a long-term security commitment from the United States. The agreement involves the joint developing of the country's mineral resources, including oil and gas, and was made after a right to $500 billion in potential revenue was dropped by the United States. Kyiv views the deal as favorable, saying it strengthens the relationship between Ukraine and the U.S. while giving them greater prospects of rebuilding after 3 years of war. The country's deputy prime minister said, quote, "The minerals agreement is only part of the picture. We have heard multiple times from the U.S. administration that it's part of a bigger picture." The final version of the agreement would establish a fund into which 50% of the money from the future monetization of state-owned mineral resources would be contributed by Ukraine, including oil and gas and associated logistics. The fund would invest in projects in Ukraine. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt talked about the mineral deal during a news conference on Tuesday.
It's critical that this deal is signed. He expects President Zelensky to sign a deal. This is to recoup American tax dollars that have been funding Ukraine's national defense. And it's also great for the Ukrainian people who have been put through hell because of this war. And it will create a lasting economic partnership as Ukraine will need to rebuild their country because of this brutal war.
A scary situation in Chicago when a jet entered the runway without authorization and was traveling directly in the path of a plane that was landing. The quick-thinking pilots of the Southwest plane saw the jet, pulled up, and circled around, avoiding what could have been a catastrophic crash. Southwest saying in a statement, Southwest Flight 2504, which was arriving from Omaha, Nebraska, landed without incident Tuesday morning after the crew performed a precautionary go-around to avoid a possible conflict with another aircraft that entered the runway. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt responding to questions from the media about Dan Bongino being named the FBI's deputy director, saying Washington bureaucrats should be nervous. Listen.
This is a man who loves his country and who has honorably served our country in ways that many people have not. He understands the depth of the corruption at these institutions, which the American people re-elected President Trump to shake up. And I think it's quite despicable to see many networks in this room who have had chyrons on their television screens labeling Mr. Bongino as a far-right podcaster. He is not. He is a former law enforcement agent. He is a former Secret Service agent.
In Dallas, Christina Aguayo, Salem News Channel.